Hey guys, Teresa Poor here and my good friend Julie.
Hello.
We are here for the Seven Pillars Talk Show, and tonight we are talking about you, discovering your personality and why that's so important. But before we get there, I want to remind you, what is the Seven Pillars and what is this talk show and why are we even here? So, my business, 320 Consulting Services, is all about helping you live your life's purpose and live your life on purpose, creating an unbreakable life. And the way that we do that, the way that I've decided and learned from my own experiences on how to create that unbreakable life includes 7 pillars. And pillar number 1 is self-discovery, because you can't go anywhere if you don't know who you are, why you are, and how you are. All of those things really matter towards creating your life of purpose and the life that you were destined for. So I am so excited to have Julie with me. We've been friends through business, through ministry, through all kinds of areas over the last couple of years. And recently, we both went on this endeavor of helping people in a new way, a different way than what we've done in the past. And it's so cool to see how God reconnected us and really connected us for such a time, I believe, as this. Yeah. But Julie has a program that she does. But before I get there, I want to tell you a little bit about her, because you are going to want to know her. Julie lives in the Pflugerville, Texas area. So she is a native to all of us that are in this Unbreakable Life community. She's been married to her husband, y'all, for 35 years. They've done life together. They've done ministry together. They've raised babies together and now grandbabies. They're traveling the world together. They just got back from Switzerland and have so much to offer people. And I don't want to go into too much around why she's doing what she's doing, because I would love for her to tell you that. But I'm excited to introduce you to my friend Julie. So Julie, the first question I have for you is, who are you? And why are you doing this journey of helping people discover who they are?
Oh my goodness. That is such a great question. Well, what appealed to me and why I'm so excited to be here and share this with you is because I feel like, even though I'm 58, I don't know that we're supposed to tell our age, but I heard it said if we tell our age, we'll tell you anything. But I'm pretty much an open book, so I'd pretty much tell you anything anyway. But I love learning, and I love learning about who God made me to be. And I am just discovering more and more about myself. So I am a daughter of the King, the Most High King. So that's who I am, first and foremost. I am a complicated person with unique personality styles. And as my husband and I went on we were on a board for a marriage, for marriages. And we went and we discovered more about the DISC personality. And we both said, honestly, this is the missing piece, because we have done marriage ministry, well, for a long, long time. My husband was a pastor for years, youth ministry. He does a lot of speaking and training and traveling. And we do a lot of marriage counseling. And this piece of the DISC personality profile, it was just like God said, this is it. This will really answer some questions that people still have. So it was a huge aha. I learned so much more about myself, and I thought, I can't wait to share it with others. So,
yay.
Yeah.
Man, I love that. And as we go through and help people become unbreakable and have their life's purpose, it's so important to understand the uniqueness of who people are. One, as she mentioned, marriage, one of the things that would really bother my husband and I, as we've been in business together, we've raised kids together, is our personalities are so different. So different. And we couldn't figure it out. Like, one of the things that we really struggled with in business was he wanted to do something one way. I wanted to do something a different way. We ultimately had the same goal, but just the way we saw it was different, and it was frustrating. And then I started thinking about, okay, well, that's not just with Royal. That's pretty much with everybody. You know, we all as humans are created unique, but with the same intentions to love, to be safe, to be protected, to live our purpose, all those things. But the way we go about it looks so different. The way we look is so different. The way we talk, the way we communicate, all of the things. And so when I went through this DISC personality process and really learned about the uniqueness of me, that was one of the ways I took back my power, because I no longer will compare myself to somebody else or put pressure on somebody else to see things the way I see it, because we're not made to do that.
Right.
So will you talk a little bit about the difference in personalities and how that empowers you?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, I think it's super important to understand your unique wiring. And we can't put everybody in a box. I mean, there are 4 main personalities, DISC, but really there's 41 different unique blends.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you want me to go over and explain what DISC is and all that? Okay. So basically it's really easy. Oh, that's great.
D is me.
D. Okay. So D, when you think of D, I'm going to give you some D words that will kind of help remember. Direct, driven, dominance, decisive. Those are just a few D words. Okay. There's probably quite a few more, but that's it. Ds like to be in charge. Ds are quick decision makers. So you're real decisive and you can make decisions quick. So that's D. Okay. I'm going to go back to D. Ds, which way? D? Okay. Ds tend to be more outgoing and more task driven. So you can really break people up into, are you outgoing or reserved? And are you more people driven or task driven? So Ds tend to be more outgoing. And of course, there's a spectrum. You might be, depends on where you fall on the scale, and more outgoing and more task driven. Okay. I stands, just think of some I words: influential, inspirational. They like to make an impact. I's are more outgoing and more people driven, people motivated.
So task, people.
Right. And again, neither one is better. So, and what is the best personality style? Yours.
Of course.
Mine, the way God uniquely wired us. Okay. So, that way. So there you go. DIS. Well, S stands for stable. S's are more reserved and more people oriented. They're the nicest people you're going to meet. Well, not that they aren't nice, but they're very loyal. They're very friendly. They're stable. They're secure. They like security, stability. They're loyal. A little slower paced, not quick decision maker, but these are the ones that are going to stick with you for life. They're the loyal people. Not that these aren't, but that's just when you think of S, that's what you're thinking of. Their traits. Yeah. And then C, think of some C words: correct, conscientious, careful. They are more reserved and more task driven. So you've got your 2 outgoing is DI, task, people, and your 2 reserved, I'm glad I brought these little things, are S and C, more reserved. And this is more people. This is more task. Okay. So simple little things like that.
So I know who I am. And I know who Royal is. And this was so empowering to learn about. When we actually decided as a family to do the whole report together. So Julie is analyzing like my whole family to say, okay, this is who you are, who you produced. And with that information, we can find better ways to connect and to communicate and to produce the same outcome with less friction. right? And less
Absolutely.
frustration. And I would say, it's wonderful to do that with your family, but also anybody that you're trying to come up with a common cause on. You see, a lot of times I feel like we think that the only people that can get things done the way we would get them done is us or people just like us. But the reality is it takes all personalities,
Mm-hmm.
all viewpoints, all styles to see things from a holistic approach and really master a task, right? And so, for a business or an organization or a nonprofit to do this and learn how to work together on a better way is really, really good. One of the things that Julie did for Royal and I is she mapped us out and put us on a chart together, which I think is so cool. So that the chart guides and shows us where we're at, which is a great visual.
Because look how far. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. See, they're just extremely different, which can be, that can lead to some conflict because you don't know necessarily how to speak to that person until you can understand that person and understand the strengths that they carry.
So she gave my husband a guide on how to interact with me.
Okay.
Oh, I got one for him too.
Well, okay. So basically, Teresa, you're really high DI. All right. So you are direct, you are decisive, you're driven, you're dominant, you like to be in charge. Okay. And which is all those are great things. But Royal, he likes to be correct. He likes things a little slower pace so he can analyze it. And he likes seeing the big picture. He likes things done the proper way. You just want them done quickly and done well
to the next task.
Right. Yes. And he wants it done. So that can lead to some conflict. So I gave Teresa, and y'all can do the same type of report, a little report here. Royal is motivated by quality answers, excellence, and value. You like to have control and you like challenges. Okay. So there's some where both of you are bent towards accomplishing tasks. As long as you have the same goal, you can be very effective as a team, and so you might struggle with the different approaches. So Teresa, you need freedom. You need the authority. You need varied activities. And you need difficult assignments, and you need opportunities for advancement. Okay. So that's now Royal will know this, and he knows that you need freedom and you need difficult assignments and things. But he likes clearly defined task and explanation. So Royal will thrive when you say, hey, could you do X, Y, Z for me? And here's a list. And that would make him feel valued, feel heard. And then when he completes it, it will be done with excellence.
Right.
Right. So basically, he needs assignments that require planning and precision. You don't need a lot of planning. You just knock it out. So see where there could be some conflict. Now, golly, I know I need to speak to him in the way that he can relate to the best. We've heard the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated. But have you heard of the platinum rule? What? Treat others the way they want to be treated.
And speak to them in their language.
Speak to them in their language. This is just one great tool. I just love it. I just feel like it's been so helpful to me. Now, my husband and I are very, very similar in that we are ISD. So we're a blend. Again, there's 41 blends in this personality style that we use through Personality Insights, DIS. But I'm so close with my INS that I flip-flop. And what's interesting, really, this is pretty much my secondary trait because my IS are so close together that I flip-flop between them. That sometimes when I'm out of control and I'm stressed out, I will respond as a D, but not a healthy D.
And
as an unhealthy D. I can snap someone's head off. In fact, I did just recently at a restaurant. I kind of snapped someone's head off. I didn't mean to be. I was abrupt. And my daughter looked at me and went, Mom. I'm like, I wasn't meaning to be rude. It was just, I was, but I was a little stressed. And so I came out a little abrasive, which is not my normal tendency. So we tend to, when we're under stress, work on our secondary trait, and when we're not in control. And that just, I just feel like that's just so helpful. When you understand yourself, it really empowers you to walk in your strengths and not compare yourself to someone else. We tend to compare where we don't feel super strong with someone else's strengths, but as soon as you understand who you are and what your strengths are, because I am IS, I can be outgoing, and yet I can be super loyal, but don't put me with a lot of C where I have to give you exact, correct, statistics and things done. I just want to knock it out. I can function in this, but not for long.
Yeah.
Not for long. Yeah. Or I get real drained. So I think it's just really important to understand who you are.
Absolutely. And, we talked about relationships because it's relationalities.
Yeah. That's the name of our company.
Yes.
Like personality, relationalities.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. But one of the other things that I think that's a big part of all of our lives is our jobs and the work that we do and the fulfillment that we have in the work that we do. And I remember back in 2019 and 2020, 2021, I was jumping a lot back and forth between my husband's business as a manager to producing estimates to, picking up all the balls that were dropping all over the place. And then about an hour after I got done with that, I would jump onto my Mary Kay meetings and I would put on my huge I hat. So I would go directly from a D into an I. And I literally felt like I was spinning. And during that time, I felt like there wasn't a lot of control. I had a lot, and rightfully so. It was the middle of a pandemic, right? I mean, there were a lot of factors that associated with it. But when I was putting this hat on and taking it off and putting this hat on and taking it off and putting homeschool mom hat on, which is a lot of C, which I'm not super comfortable with, or, it's not a comfortable thing for me. It's not common for me. I was all over the place. And that's when I hit burnout. And I really feel like, if you want to save yourself from hitting burnout and really understand what's going on behind the scenes, we've got to turn our eyes inward and look internally and say, okay, what's really going on here? Is there something that I'm doing? Am I trying to fit a hat that doesn't really fit me? Am I trying to pick up a role that's really not designed for me long term and it's burning me out? So I feel like, if you're at that place where maybe you're getting stuck or you feel like you're constantly hitting a wall, or perhaps you're feeling like there's no fulfillment in the work that I do, even though it's a noble job, even if it has to get done, right? Sometimes we feel like there's no fulfillment in it because it's not natural to us and it's draining us, like you talked about, instead of filling us. When I'm in the top hat world, I love to consult. I love to inspire people and get them excited about customer service and communication and all that. What I don't love is managing. Because as she said, the thing that I'm not good at is being stuck in a spot for too long. So I want to pump you up and help you and then go on my merry way back to my freedom and flexibility. So I think, if somebody is thinking about, okay, I'm struggling work-wise, what would you say to them about something like that?
Okay. Well, at Relationalities, you can go online, and I don't know if you're going to put a link in there. They can go to relationalities.com, or we can just put a link. You can do an assessment ranging from just the basic one all the way up to leadership, like a 6-page report, all the way up to a 50-page report, 50 plus. And it will help you understand. We'll graph you 2 different ways. One is your basic style and one is your environment style, like where you at work, for example, and how others perceive you. The further apart your basic style is and your D, ISC and your environment style, the more stress you'll find. So in my personality, my basic real me and my environment, they're really, oh, is this mine or is this one of yours? No, this one's mine. They're very close together, which means there's going to be some peace there. But if there is you're far away, that's where the stress is. And I think it's just a aha, like, wow, I'm functioning in something that's not my natural strength. I can do it for a while, but no wonder I'm drained. And I was saying this to you just the other day. We were talking on the phone and I said, Teresa, no wonder this unbreakable, after I saw your report, I mean, I feel like I know you really well. And I would have put you in that category. But once I kind of read more about your report, I'm like, no wonder this unbreakable platform and the 7 pillars fits you so well. It fits your natural personality. And so that and this environment are just so cohesive.
Right.
And that's why you're thriving, you know? So I just feel like it's empowering. Just really, really empowering. For example, my husband and I, even though we're both ISDs, he is way more outgoing than I am. And I have a lot of S, even though he does, but I need time by myself. I need calmness. I need I could even go on vacation by myself. I know that's crazy to him. Like he couldn't even spend, an hour by himself. He needs people, even though we're both. So that's why I think it's so incredible. We are all so uniquely wired. And I feel like when you do these reports and you map it out, and I can help walk through people with this, it's just empowering. And I think it's so incredible that God has made us so uniquely wired together. Our brains, we're all unique. We have different fingerprints. So even though you might come up similar to somebody else, you're still unique in that particular personality style. So does that answer? So if I compare my strengths or my weaknesses to your strengths, I'm going to be suffering all the time. I'm going to be unhappy. I'm going to be frustrated. I'm going to compare. I'm going to feel. But once I understand my strengths, I'm like, no wonder, that makes all the sense. I've got a lot to offer and in my strengths, and we all need each other. And I just think it's incredible how it works together.
I love that. Julie.
Yes.
So there are a lot. DISC has been around for a long time.
Right.
And I used DISC with a business coach that I had. I did a version of it when I was at the bank. With our church, we did a free version, which was like 10 questions. So it was really, really, really basic.
Right.
What do you, I will say from my perspective, there's so much value in doing a report with a consultant that can say, okay, let's take this a step further and really analyze what it means about you, as opposed to just saying, well, I'm dominant. Well, I could have already told myself I was kind of dominant. Like I could probably have already told myself that. But how do what is the value of having a real report with real data, and how can I use that?
Oh, that's so great. Okay. Before I became a senior behavior consultant, human behavior consultant, and spent hours and 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 lots of money training to be certified to train and teach on this. Before that, I took a lot of free personality profiles too. And there's a lot out there. DISC is one that I think is so fantastic. Why I love DISC specifically, it's relational. It doesn't just tell you about yourself, it tells you how to relate to somebody else. Right. And I think that's really key for DISC. But going through a report with somebody like me, for example, it's just going to help you dive in deeper. When as I went through this training, even though I knew I was ISD, IDS, depending, maybe one question answer, depends on where I was in my life. I've never been C, that I will tell you ever. And I've always been ISD or IDS, depending. But it was such an aha moment the more I understood about the report. And I mean, I have so many tools that I have learned in this process. it's not just a report. Having somebody like me go through it, I think could really be an aha moment. I know for me, when I was being trained, it was such a relief. It was such a relief that, wow, I really do have skills, you know, because I tend to compare like, wow, my weaknesses with someone else's strengths. So going through the report with someone like me, I think will really help you understand your strengths, will really help you understand like what your buying pattern is. What is your natural, where you go when you're stressed, uh, how you process information, what your key strength is, what your blind spots are, where your key struggle is. There'll be secrets to your success. And when I'll just say going through a report, especially if you want to go through it with a spouse as well, or a coworker or a child, I mapped out my whole family, and we're just waiting on one more person to complete the profile, and we'll put your whole family on a graph. I just think that is beyond valuable.
Sure.
I mean, to learn how to, because I'm this way, because I'm very I, but my daughter's very, extremely S, that I need to kind of go a little bit slower. My pace needs to be slower. I don't need to be, super quick. I need to slow my pace down a little bit. It just helps me understand who I am and how to relate to others. And I just feel like you can print a report and you can learn, but having it, if you want to go deeper and really understand, I think a consultation would be key.
Yeah, I love that. One of the things that my report shared with me was my biggest fear. Like, I was like, what? And when I saw that, my biggest fear as a D personality, predominantly D personality, is being taken advantage of. And I thought, wow. And that led me on another path of self-discovery is, why do I have a fear of being taken advantage of? And so it's so interesting that this could be literally like a gateway opportunity for you to really begin the process of analyzing who you are, why you are the way that you are, why you think the way you think, you respond the way you respond, you communicate the way you communicate. And then it really can help you learn more about you and the uniqueness and the beauty, really the beauty in you. And I will say, we're both from like the beauty business. That's where we met. We're both in Mary Kay. But there is nothing more beautiful, no makeup, no skincare, nothing more beautiful than seeing the most authentic, true version of somebody.
Yeah.
Like when you see them light up and you see the truest version of them emerge, there's nothing more beautiful than that. There's no veil. There's nothing that hides them. They just show up in all the glory that God created in them. And I think that that is so pretty. And it starts with, again, turning the eye inward and seeing who you are instead of looking out and wishing that you were like everybody else.
Oh my gosh, Teresa, I could not agree more. Freeing and empowering. To really, you talk a lot on this channel and an Unbreakable family here about stepping into your power. Well, if you don't really know who you are and how you're wired, and you're always kind of like, oh, I want to be like that. If I could just be a little more like that, then wow, right? But realizing, wow, this is who I really am. And so thank you, God, that you made me this way. And you know what else? Once I understand myself, then I can love myself because I really understand who I am. And that's okay. I might not be as outgoing, or I might not be as careful as somebody else, but I can be really step into my loyalty and my steadiness. And, I might not be super emotional, have emotions real high or low, but I'm steady. And I'm like, that's good. Maybe why can't I get more excited about something? Well, you know what? My steadiness is a strength.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So, I mean, because I'm IS, I can just go boom, 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 back and forth real easily between the two. But, and once I understand myself, then I can see somebody else. There's really basically two questions, and you can almost know and know how to respond to somebody. You ask yourself, is that person more outgoing or more reserved? Okay. I would say for you, you're more outgoing, right? And I'd say, is she more task driven or people person? Well, you're very people, but you're very task. So I would know right off. I knew right off that you're a D because you're outgoing and so I know how I'm going to respond to you. I'm not going to spend a super long time. We don't talk on the phone and spend hours chit chatting, right? I talk to you and real direct. And now, especially that I've learned all this, just bullet point type of things. Teresa, this is what I need from you. I need this, this, this. Great. Okay, bye. And a hug along the way.
And I
love you. But I think that's great. And so, and for me, you can talk fast paced, but you can also, I need loyal friendships.
Right.
And that's important. So every now and then you say, Julie, I really appreciate you, and I'm like, oh, so that you know how to speak to me.
Right.
Right. So I just think it's empowering, and it just increases your influence.
Absolutely.
And everybody wants to be seen, and everybody wants to have influence.
Yeah.
And
influence is just how we inspire and help others.
Right.
And what I love again about this is it tells me how to speak your language, which is an expression of love. Yeah. If I were selfish and selfish minded, I would expect everybody to just talk like me, look like me, think like me. But when we take the time to do this, we're literally saying, okay, it's important to me that I connect with you in a way that you feel loved, valued, and seen. And, I'm reminded of the scripture, love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, and your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. But you got to love yourself so that you can love your neighbor.
That's right.
And it goes together, right? We keep thinking, well, love your neighbor, but you don't know who you are and you can't see the uniqueness in people. So then there is, jealousy and division and all of those other things instead of simply love your God, love your neighbor as I've learned to love myself.
You have to love yourself before you can love your neighbor.
Yes.
And if you don't know who you are, and even if you're comparing yourself, and you will continue to compare yourself until you really understand and step into, this is who I am. So I just think it's so empowering. Do we have a minute to share a few of these?
Please do. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So there's just a few things. Well, you were talking about secret fears. A secret fear of a D is to be taken advantage of. A secret fear of an I is loss of social recognition.
Okay.
Or loss of social
status.
A secret fear of an S might be change or confrontation, like they don't want to confront somebody or something. So they are, and that will be a fear of mine. I don't want to really confront. And the secret fear, this is your husband, is the unknown. Possibly, and
it takes a lot of risk for the unknown to be his number one fear. I'm just saying.
Right. Well, we grow, right? So we can know that this is a fear, but and we're growing all the time. Here's something interesting. Some people, it's 1 out of 500 really fit into the level. That's the 41 blend. My son, for example, had a really hard time trying to pinpoint what my son was. I say DIS. I mean, how do I not know? And I'm like, how do I not know who he is? Well, he did this test. We put us all on a graph, a family graph together. And I'm like, he's level.
Wow.
That's 1 out of 500. So I think that's good.
Wow.
A D wants to do it now. Do it now. Would you say that's you?
Yeah.
Do it quick. Okay. The I
make the plan later.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's make it fun.
Uh-huh.
I'll do it, but I want it to be fun. An S is let's do it together.
Yeah, that's royal.
Okay. And the C is let's do it right. Because royal is an SC or a CS, right? And just depending and do it right. Oh my goodness. A D dreams of accomplishments, maybe, and money, maybe. I don't know. And they want to be successful. They want to make money. Not every D. I mean, but they want accomplishment.
They want to achieve.
Okay. They want to achieve. And I kind of dreams of being a star and in the limelight.
Okay.
All right. Maybe an S maybe dreams of security for family. And a C dreams of long-term profit. I don't know. What do you think?
That sounds about right. Legacy, probably, and all of that good stuff. Yeah.
You want to know a struggle for the D's? I don't know.
I could tell you.
Key struggle is to be friendly.
Okay,
you're friendly, but you're also.
But I also get to the point really quick, which I've had to slow it down because most people want to date before they get married.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. An I's key struggle is to be factual.
Yeah.
Okay. S's key struggle is to be firm. They want to just kind of go with the flow and make everybody happy. And a C key struggle is to be fun.
I feel like for me, being fun seems like a key struggle as well as a high I or D, high D.
Yeah, depends on if you're in your really D mode because you're so task driven. You don't,
right?
I don't know.
Get to work. We can have the party later.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to give you 4 things. Key strengths.
Okay.
A D key strength is firm.
Okay.
And firm would be firm in your beliefs, firm in what matters. You know what you want and you go after it. Firm. That's a key strength. A key strength for I is they can be really fun. And that is a strength. You even said to me one time, gosh, I can't believe I'm remembering this right now. You said, I want to be more fun.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. I got a book that was called How to Be More Fun.
Right. And I think we went bowling together one time.
We did.
And you even said, we are excellent bowlers, by the way. We could probably give you. No, we were so
we
bad.
can tell you how to put the bumpers on.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, I remember you saying, I want to be more fun. I want to be more fun. But see, you were comparing maybe my strength with something that you saw in yourself as a weakness, and it wasn't.
Right.
That was just not your natural go-to. You're more factual, more direct, more get it done. And then I've seen you with all this. I'm like, oh my gosh, you just amaze me. I mean, like, I couldn't do what you're doing. Well, I'm not supposed to do what you're doing.
Right.
And that's so incredible to keep that in mind. But to be so firm for D is a key, a strength. Fun is for I, and I think that's important. A key strength for S is friendly. Okay. Because they're more reserved and people oriented, right? And a key strength for a C is factual. If I go in for a surgery, I don't really know that I want my doctor to be all that fun, really. I mean,
not too many can pull off Patch Adams.
Right. I think I really want him to be more factual, logical, thinker, things like that. So anyway, there's so much. Yeah.
So much. Well, Julie, I want people to know how to connect with you. So can you tell them, we'll put your website in here.
Okay.
And guys, I encourage you to hook up with Julie. Let her share what she spent thousands of dollars and tons of hours learning how to support you with. Let her be part of that with your unbreakable life journey. Let her be a piece of the puzzle that helps you see the big picture. She will be, and just so you know, she is a sponsor for our next conference. I'm so excited. August 22nd. If it's not on your calendar, put it on your calendar. We are going to be at Chateau Bellevue in Austin. It is beautiful. It is the original Austin Women's Club. It's also the house of Daughters of the Revolutionary War, which is really cool. Speaking of taking back your power, hopefully we'll have a speaker from there. But Julie is going to be there, and 8 of our participants are actually going to get a free assessment. So I am so excited about that, but don't bet on it. Get your assessment done now so you can start living this sooner. And maybe we'll put you in a different program if you're a winner that day.
Oh, that's great. So we're going to put it on there, but relationalities.com is my website. It's under construction a little bit. So, but we'll also put the link if you just want to go straight to the assessment. And so you have, you can take any assessment from a basic one that's only 6 pages long to one that's leadership and sales. We have a sales one as well. That's 50 something plus pages. We also have assessments for children, ages 5 to 11, and then teen assessments and all that type of thing. And if you will send me an email at julie@relationalities.com, or send me, when you go and take an assessment, we'll put my contact information in there, and you put Unbreakable, or I'm Teresa's friend, or Unbreakable, then I will give you a really great price discount on, and just for your Unbreakable community, an hour-long one-on-one conversation about your report, whichever report you decide to do. And it's about half of what I normally charge.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love it. What an awesome opportunity. And she's really good, y'all. She's really good.
Yay.
Yay.
Well, I love it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, whoever is watching with us tonight, thank you for taking the time to be part of this call with us. Thank you for being in our Unbreakable Life journey, and for letting us share our passion for helping you take back your power and live your life's purpose by living your life on purpose. So God bless you. We will see you soon, and can't wait to see you at Unbreakable 2024 on August 22nd.
Yay.